In today's session, we discuss the optics of the eye. In this topic, we have to study the biological structure of the eye. The next one is optical representation of the eye, the functions of the eye, and the errors of refraction and their correction in the optics of the eye. Let's start with the biological structure of the human eye. So this is the figure of the human eye, in which the first one is the optic nerve, second one is the optic disc, third one is fovea centralis, the fourth one is your retina, fifth one is your sclera, choroid, ciliary body, lens, cornea, pupil, aqueous body, iris, suspensory ligament, and the last one is vitreous body. The structure of the eye is an important topic to understand. It is one of the important sensory organs in the human body. It is mainly responsible for vision, differentiation of color, that is, the human eye can differentiate approximately 10 to 12 million colors, and maintaining the biological clock of the human body. The human eye can be compared to a camera, as both works by gathering, focusing, and transmitting the light through the lens for creating an image of an object. Structure and functions of the human eye. The human eyes are the most complicated sense organs in the human body. From the muscles and tissues to nerves and blood vessels, every part of the human eye is responsible for a certain action. Furthermore, the eye is not perfectly spherical. Instead, it is two separate segments fused together. It is made up of several muscles and tissues that come together to form a roughly spherical structure. From an anatomical perspective, the human eye can be broadly classified into external structure and internal structure. The external structure of an eye. The parts of the eye that are visible externally include the following things. The first one is your sclera. It is a white visible portion. It is made up of dense connective tissues and protect the inner parts. The second one is your conjunctiva. It lines the sclera and is made up of stratified squamous epithelium. It keeps our eyes moist and clear and provides lubrication by secreting mucus and tears. The third one is your cornea. It is the transparent anterior or front part of our eye, which covers the pupil and the iris. The main function is to refract the light along with the lens. Iris. It is the pigmented colored portion of the eye, visible externally. The main function of the iris is to control the diameter of the pupil according to the light source. Pupil. It is the small aperture located in the center of the iris. It allows light to enter and focus on the retina. The internal structure of an eye. The internal components of an eye are lens. It is a transparent, biconvex, lens of an eye. The lens is attached to the ciliary body by ligaments. The lens along with the cornea refracts light so that it focuses on the retina. Retina. It is the innermost layer of the eye. It is light sensitive and acts as a film of a camera. Three layers of neural cells are present in them. They are ganglion, bipolar and photoreceptor cells. It converts the image into electrical nerve impulses for the visual perception by the brain. Optic nerve. It is located at the posterior portion of the eyes. The optic nerves carry all the nerve impulses from the retina to the human brain for perception. Aqueous humor. It is a watery fluid present between the cornea and the lens. It nourishes the eye and keeps it inflated. Vitreous humor. It is a transparent, jelly-like substance present between the lens and the retina. It contains water, collagen, proteins, etc. The main function of vitreous humor is to protect the eyes and maintain its spherical shape. Now we have to discuss the errors of refraction and their correction in the eye. Sometimes the eye may gradually lose its power of accommodation. In such conditions, the person cannot see the objects distinctly and comfortably. The vision becomes blurred due to the refractive defects of the eye. There are mainly three common defects of vision. There are myopia or nearsightedness, hypermetropia or farsightedness, and presbyopia. These defects can be corrected by the use of suitable spherical lenses. Myopia is also known as nearsightedness. A person with myopia can see nearby objects clearly but cannot see distant objects distinctly. In a myopic eye, the image of distant object is formed in front of the retina and not at the retina itself. This defect may arise due to the excessive curvature of the eye lens or elongation of the eyeball. This defect can be corrected by using a concave lens of suitable power. A concave lens of suitable power will bring the image back onto the retina and thus the defect is corrected. In normal vision, far away object is clear. But in myopia, near-sighted eye, the eyeball is too long, far away object is blurry. Myopia corrected with a minus lens. What is hypermetropia? Hypermetropia is also known as farsightedness. A person with hypermetropia can see distant objects clearly but cannot see nearby objects distinctly. The light rays from a closely object are focused at a point behind the retina. This defect arises either because of the focal length of the eye lens is too long and the eyeball has become too small. This defect can be corrected by using a convex lens of appropriate power. The next refractive error in our eye is presbyopia. Presbyopia, the power of accommodation of the eye, usually decreases with age. For most people, the near point gradually recedes away. They find it difficult to see nearby objects comfortably and distinctly without corrective eyeglasses. This defect is called presbyopia. It arises due to the gradual weakening of the ciliary muscles and diminishing flexibility of the eye lens. Sometimes a person may suffer from both myopia and hypermetropia. Such people often require bifocal lens. A common type of bifocal lens consists of both concave and convex lenses. The upper portion consists of a concave lens. The lower part is a convex lens. These days, it is possible to correct the refractive defects with contact lens or through surgical interventions. In normal case, the image form on the retina. In this case, lens thickened to focus near objects. In presbyopia, lens hard with age and unable to change the shape. In this case, image formed behind the retina and the presbyopia corrected with a convex lens and image will form on the retina. Depth of focus. The greatest possible depth of focus occurs when the pupil is extremely small. The reason for this is that with a very small aperture, almost all the rays pass through the center of the lens and the centralmost rays are always in focus. Stop and pupil. When an optical instrument is used to study an object, light reflected from the object enters the instrument through its lenses. The light passing through the instrument is limited in cross section either by the finite diameter of the lenses or diaphragm called stops. Aperture stop. An aperture stop is a circular opening in an opaque screen. It limits the cross section of the light that form the image. Stops are used to restrict the light entering the instrument in order to obtain a good image. Field stop. It is also necessary to limit the size of the image if good images are required. For this purpose, we use a diaphragm known as the field stop. The field stop limits the field of view of the instrument. Pupil. A pupil is defined as the cross section of a bundle where light from all parts of the object passes through, completely mixed and without preferential spatial separation. If we place a stop between the object and a lens, that stop will become the pupil. In this simple case of a single lens system, the stop is the entrance pupil. The lens not only forms the image of the object but also the image of the entrance pupil. The image of the entrance pupil is the exit pupil.